We were promised a bare-knuckle brawl between Jets head coach Robert Saleh and general manager Joe Douglas if their choice at the top of the draft came down to an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. And it might happen, and I want cameras on this brawl because it could be a good one. The Jets might have to choose between NC State tackle Ikem Ekwonu and Oregon edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeaux, two players that the organization likes. I heard that Douglas is very high on Ekwonu, but Thibodeaux, let's face it, fills a bigger area of need. And also, let's face it, Robert Saleh is bigger and faster, and he's going to win that fight. And right now, in my latest mock draft, I'm going to give the Jets Thibodeaux because they know that edge rusher is a missing piece on a defense that has been really rebuilt during free agency. And Thibodeaux is a guy who, for months, was going to be the #1 overall pick in this entire draft, but then there were questions about his fire and his personality and his ability to be a team player, and it might have been some nonsense from scouts, but there are teams who believe that, which is why I think he will slip all the way to 4. Now, the Jets certainly had those questions, but from what I'm told, Thibodeaux's visit with them went very, very well, answered all of their questions about his personality. They believe that he could be a fit in their system. He has the fire that is needed to be a dominant NFL edge rusher, and they look at him on one side with his speed and his size and the moves and his intelligence. He's a guy who loves to study the game and study great pass rushers. On one side, you have him. On the other side, you get Carl Lawson returning from his Achilles injury. Well, the defense could really be something special. So that is a hole that I think the Jets are going to fill, and I do believe they'll fill it with Thibodeaux with the 4th overall pick. At number 10, it certainly still looks like the Jets will pick a receiver. They could trade down, something I know that Joe Douglas would like to do, although I don't know that there's going to be a trade partner for somebody looking to move up to the 10th spot. So receiver is certainly a position they're locked in on. Obviously, they tried to go all in for a trade for Tyreek Hill. That didn't work out, so there's certainly still a need there for them. Right now, I have them taking Ohio State's Garrett Wilson, who is the safest, maybe the most explosive prospect in this draft, but don't rule out Alabama's Jamison Williams. He's a guy that scouts say would have been the top receiver off the board if he hadn't torn his ACL in the college football playoff. He's not expected to be back until November, and that's really a risk, taking a guy with the 10th overall pick who might miss more than half of the NFL season. 10 is usually a spot where you want to get a guy who's going to help you a lot during the season. So I don't know that the Jets will be willing to take the risk on him there. I also don't know what their doctors say. If their doctors believe that he can come back sooner, they might decide, you know what, if he misses training camp in some of September, we can get him back for most of the season. Well, take the guy with the highest ceiling. So that's a question they have to answer. But right now, I'm not willing to give them Williams with the number 10 pick. I think the safest bet is Garrett Wilson. One way or another, though, I think they're going to get their edge rusher at 4 and get another weapon for Zach Wilson, something they've been focusing on most of this offseason, at number 10.